Becky.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to our information session about the NASA Community College Aerospace Scholars Program. I'm Sophia Kim. I'm the director of the Science Learning Institute, and we are hosting today's event with the help of two amazing students who themselves have been through the program, Lily Swedlow and Andrea Zabala. We're recording this for people who can't attend, and for those of you who are here, welcome. We're glad you could show up live with us today. So I'm going to hand it over to Lily and Andrea, and feel free, Orion and Jose, whenever you have questions, to just put anything in the chat, and hopefully we can get your questions answered. So Lily and Andrea, it's all yours.
Thanks, Sophia. Welcome. Oh, it's not. Okay. Hi, my name is Lily. I go by she, her pronouns, and I am an aerospace engineering major here at Foothill.
Hello everyone, and I'm Andrea. I'm a physics and mechanical engineering major. Um, and she, her pronouns as well. Fun fact, I'm in my car right now. So I'm at work. I'm at work right now. I'm taking a meeting from the car. So that's a fun fact of today.
Thank you. So we're gonna do a rundown of each mission and our experiences. So starting with mission 1, this is what you're actually applying to when you're applying to the NCAS program. So the first mission is a lot more I don't know, less interactive than the other missions, but essentially it's equivalent of a 5-week online course that's asynchronous. And they give you modules about all of the 5 NASA directorates. And what you're doing is researching each week about a particular thing, or they might have a question. But you're writing like a few paragraphs about a directorate or something that they're teaching you, and all the while during those 5 weeks crafting an infographic on one of the directorates of your choice. Mine here is on the left and this is Andrea's on the right. And it is it is essentially just like an asynchronous course. But there are office hours each week that you can go to, as well as what were they called? Uh, experts. What was
Yeah.
there was like a
Yeah, so
yeah.
for so what the main purpose of NCAS is to, well, invite community college to get a feel of what NASA is and how it works. And the way how they do this is they have 3 missions, mission 1, 2, and 3 in NCAS, and each mission has a different sort of topic or subject. So for example, for mission 1, the majority of NCAS is just remote, so it's on your computer. It doesn't matter where you are, so it's very convenient. For example, mission 1 is, like Lily said, it's 5 weeks online, and what it is essentially is, um, they give you a brief introduction of NASA and its history, and they show you how it works. So it has like different directorates, and from there they tell you like what each one of them does and how they work. And at the end, the goal is for you to like create an infographic with all the information that you gain. Um, so that's the main goal of NCAS, and they really do make an effort in inviting community college students because they really NCAS gives you experience that you don't find with other programs, right? They have weekly meetings where they teach you not only how NASA and people who work there do their job, but they also invite other people who give you life advice as well. They teach you how to apply for internships. They bring people who also show you how to build your own resume. If you want to apply for a government job, they also teach you how to make a federal resume. So it's not just learning about NASA itself. It's a really great opportunity as well to learn other skills that are very, very useful for your career.
Yes. Thank you. That is, yeah, that kind of encompasses the entire program and is very emphasized throughout each of these missions. To wrap up mission one, one of the important things is to get for eligibility for mission two, they talk about the guideline they give you is to get a 70% because you do get graded on each of these assignments that you submit. And it's really easy to get an A, you just follow the instructions. But make sure you're aiming for a 90%. And we'll tell you why in a little bit. So moving on to mission two, Andrea.
Oh, can you also share how long
Yeah.
each mission was? Sorry, I
Um,
didn't know if you said that already.
oh yeah, oh, I can't go back. Mission one is 5 weeks. If you're applying this cycle, that would start, I think, in January sometime.
Yeah. So NCAS has two sessions. Sort of it has session A and session B. Session A goes from August to January, and session B goes from January to August. So it's sort of like 6 months. But it's not the entirety of NCAS is not you working the entire 6 months. Um, they give you like each like 1 month break between each mission. So mission one is 5 weeks. Then you get like a month of just rest. Then you go on to mission two, which is just only 1 week, and then you get another break, and then mission three. But mission two is the most intense mission of all three, and the reason for it is because it's only one week long, and it requires a lot of work because what it is mission two is divided into two categories. There's one category where if you are more into the administrative part of NASA, you get selected for that session. But if you're more into the building process, then you get selected. In this case, it's called the exploration simulation session. That's the session I was in, for example. And what you do is, for example, in my case, you're given a mission, you're given a goal, and you're put up with a team of around 10 to 12 people to come up with a solution for this problem that they give you. So, for example, my team, what we did was a lunar exploration and terrain observation project, and what we did is essentially we designed sort of like a lunar habitat for food research, right? So that future um scientists and astronauts that come into the moon already have sort of like a house where they can like stay and have already food source. So that was our goal of or like my team's goal for mission two. And it's very similar to, for example, like Lily's mission two. But in general, it's the goal of it is for you to apply what you learned in mission one and take it onto mission two and actually make it a reality. So in this, you're actually doing like real research and you're actually coming up with solutions for future missions that can be implemented in the future because you present this at the end of mission two, you present your project to a team of NASA members and they give you really good feedback as well. And if they like your idea, they might even reach out to you and tell you like, hey, we can keep working on this. So definitely, it's very different to mission one in terms of content and in terms of like the people you're working it with. Mission one is just like just yourself, but mission two is when you start working with a team and it is very fast. It's only 1 week and you have meetings every day from like 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. And then after that you have team meetings because you have to share the work that you do and it's a lot of research, but the key of it is to just really, really communicate with your team. Um Things happen and if you can't do something, just communicate it with your team because again this happens so quickly and it's so much work that you want to make sure your team is aware of what you're doing and you're keeping up with the work. One thing that they taught us that was really helpful was to keep track of your notes. So like just write a small journal of all the sources you've been taking notes of all the research that you've been doing, all the ideas that you came up with. Just write them down, and when you meet up with your team, you can share them. It's a really good way to keep track of everything. Not only for mission two, but for mission three is also a skill that's going to be very, very useful. But in essence, what mission two is essentially you're given a problem and you're coming up with a solution. And you're given like you're even given a budget. So it's not like, oh yeah, you just figure this out and that's it. No, it's like you're given actual numbers um of what you can do, what you can, components, all sorts of stuff. So it's really, really good idea. It gives you a really great idea actually of how NASA works, how planning a mission works, and how real life works in general. Because this is not only applicable for NASA scenarios, but also other types of work environments. And yeah.
Can you also
Do you
Now,
want to?
explain, did you already say this, that I think with mission two, it's not like everybody from mission one goes automatically to mission two. You kind of have to go through an acceptance process. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes.
yeah, Lily, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. So I would say the bar for entry for mission one is very low. There were like, I think 700 to 800 people in mission one. Um, but for mission two, they say 70%, but everything that people I talked to, things I read, you really want to aim for your grade to be in the 90% area. This is not just for mission two, because for mission three, they take the grades from mission one and mission two and determine eligibility for mission three. And for mission three, they only take the top 120 students with the best grades. So when they say 70%, they're only thinking about mission two, but you really want to aim to do your absolute best for all the missions. But for mission one and mission two, it's getting between 70 and 100%, technically. Um, Andrea, did you want to talk a little bit about your actual mission for mission two, like what you guys did? Oh, oh no, I think she dropped out. I think her internet failed her. Um,
Oh, she'll come back. You keep going.
okay. Oh, hi. You dropped out. Hi.
I don't know what happened.
Uh,
Okay, keep going.
do you want to talk a little bit
Oh, never
about
mind. Keep going.
do you want to talk a little bit about your actual mission for mission two? Like what you guys did?
Uh, yeah. Oh, there's a question on the chat. Oh, okay. That was already answered. Yeah, so my specific mission two, it was my session was the exploration simulation session. And what we have to do was to create a sustainable and reliable food source that could survive on the moon by itself. So what we did in my specific role, for example, was to be the materials engineer, and my part of the process was to come up with an environment where we could house all the different types of plants and seeds that would be carried on a different rocket as payload. So, for example, what I did was to come up with a system using lunar regolith, which is just dust from the moon, um, and turn that into sort of like a type of cement where using on-site instruments, we could come up with small houses to store food sources. Not only food sources, but also just living and normal houses for astronauts and sort of be able to create a small villa, if that makes sense. So my goal was really to use on-site sources because one of the restrictions that we were given is that our payload had to be a max amount of weight. And so one way to optimize that is by using on-site resources, right? You want to carry the least that you can in your payload and optimize the most that you can from lunar resources. So that was my role in mission two and what I did. And our mission ended up being successful. Um, so like I said, you're given you have the choice to pick between if you want a mission to Mars or a mission to the moon. My team chose a mission to the moon. And then from there, you were given different goals. So for example, our goal was to focus on food and resources, but other teams can have as a priority exploration, for example, more on the science aspect. And it really depends on the color that you're assigned and the team that you're on. But the point of it is to you all come along together as a team, and you get to come up with with a potential solution to problems that a lot of scientists and a lot of engineers are facing in real life right now. So you get to be part of that solution.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, okay, I cannot figure out these things. So like Andrea said, our missions were a little different. She ran actually a completely different session. She was the session before mine. Um, so I did this earlier this year. She did this last year, right?
Yep.
So for like she said, it's they give you an option to choose a mission to Mars or mission to the moon. My team also chose going to the moon, and we chose going to the dark side or far side of the moon. And ours was more about exploring and taking high quality photographs of different areas of the dark side of the moon as opposed to a lunar habitat. Um, but essentially, it's kind of a gamified mission where they even give you like little game cards that you use your budget to purchase every day. New ones open up. And it's your team's job to kind of sift through all of that and make the correct decisions for your mission because there were some instruments that had no significance for us, but we could have wasted money buying. So
Andrea, is Lily frozen for you? Andrea, are you there?
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
Lily, you froze.
oh no.
Oh,
Wait, did
yeah.
she freeze, Andrea?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat yourself for part of that.
What was the last? Oh God. When did okay. I
I'm
can
not
start.
sure.
Okay, sorry. I love the internet today. Um so mission one is a gamified mission where they give you cards, and your team has to, as a team, decide what instruments and uh, things on the cards to purchase for your mission that's relevant. And the key is that not everything is relevant, so you're using your budget to purchase different items, and different items open up each day. And that's a lot of detail, but the biggest thing is communication. I struggled with this the first couple of days of my mission too. When you're one of 10 or 12 people in a room and everybody's talking and everybody has ideas, it's really easy to kind of take the back seat and not say anything, but it becomes really apparent if you're not saying anything. So, honestly, one of the key things in this, and we'll talk about this in like the takeaways, is to step up and put yourself out there and just do it and like share your opinions. But even if you don't talk a lot, it's any research or information that you gather is still vital and it's still important to bring to your team. So it's really about the teamwork because, like Andrea said, it's a week and technically it's only like 6 working days. Um, and it's very intense. All the meetings are like they have subject matter experts every day where you'll learn about different experts in different fields at NASA, and those go for like 2 hours. So it can be a lot. It's very time consuming. So your time management is probably the biggest thing that you have to master for this mission. Um, but yeah, for uh, to get into mission three, oh, my buttons don't work for this. Um, And this is Andrea's mission, so I'll let her talk. But for to get into mission three, they combine your grades from mission one and mission two to determine eligibility, and they only take the top 120 students, because mission three is a paid trip to a NASA facility anywhere in the country. So this one is a lot harder to get into, which is why I emphasized at the beginning to make sure you are paying attention to the assignments and actually like doing them to the letter, so to speak. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it off to Andrea to talk about her mission three.
Yeah. So just like Lily said, mission three is definitely the most challenging to get into. The spots are very, very limited. And again, the key here that I really kind of want to touch upon is they will tell you that you can pass with a 70. Don't, I beg you, do not follow that. Please try your best to pass with a 90 or even 95 above if that is possible, because that is going to increment your chances of passing much more than if you get like a 70 or an 80. So really try your best, really focus on mission 1 and 2. Those two are your trial for getting selected to mission 3. So it is really, really important that you show those skills, especially in mission 2. Show those skills of communication, of supporting your team, because they really touch up on that. And one thing that they mention is your participation in general. They want to see you attending the meetings. They want to see you communicating. So really, really do try your best to work as hard as you can on both mission 1 and mission 2. But for mission 3, for example, in my case, I was kind of sad. It was very fun, but there's three NASA facilities that participate in NCAS. One is Armstrong, the other one is Ames, and the other one is, I can't remember the name. But you get sent what?
Langley, sorry.
Yeah, and then Langley. So there's three centers where you get selected to go to, and like Lily say, they pay for your entire trip. You get for like a hotel, transfer, everything. And the goal of it is very similar to mission 2. So what it is on mission 3 you kind of change focus on your project. And in my case, for example, I got selected to go to Ames. And the reason why I said it was a bit sad because, well, Ames to me was like 5 minutes away. Whereas my teammates were flying in from Texas, and I was like, whoa, that's very cool. I wanted to be on a plane. But it was very, very exciting. It's a 1 week long mission. Mission 3. So mission 3 is more like hybrid. It's divided into 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks are also online, where you start doing research. You're given a mission, you're given a goal, a problem, and you work towards it. Very similar to mission 2. And then on the third week, you go on site. They fly you in to one of the NASA centers, and you get to present your research. What's really cool about mission 3 is that you get to job shadow people. So every day there's going to be a few employees that work at NASA who you can go and spend the entire day with. So they will show you what they do at their job. They show you how they did it, what they did, and what ways, and really good advice on what you can do to get in, where you can apply, internship advice, and a lot of really useful information. So my goal for mission 3, or team was, or focus, or the theme of mission 3 was advanced air mobility. And our problem, what we're trying to solve, is airspace and the fear of people getting in automated vehicles. So what we did is we came up with sort of like we came with a drone, like a taxi drone, for example. And what that involved was we had to come up with an entire grid system, where the drones would land, how many people they would pick up, how would they recharge, because we wanted to make it sustainable as well, right? And so one thing that we did that was really interesting is we took the 5G networks, for example, and we redesigned them to turn them into reliable networks for passenger drones and turn that into a safety mechanism as well. So that was my goal and what my team focused on. Um, so that's what we did. But then on the side, the fun part as well is visiting the site and meeting the other people. And so for example, like on the pictures, on the like corner on the left, that's an actual CubeSat. It's genuinely really small, but they're really, really heavy. But that was a CubeSat that I believe was flown. And I don't know how they brought it back. Well, maybe it was it was about to fly, I think. That's more accurate. The CubeSat that was about to fly. And on the right of that is an actual piece of the space shuttle. Um, so if you see, like, if you've ever seen a picture of the space shuttle, you see that the bottom is just fully black. That is a cover, like layer, a protection layer. And that piece that you see right there is actually one of the pieces that were used in the space shuttle. So not only do you get to meet really cool people, really interesting people, they give you talks every single day, where people come in and teach you again, not only about NASA, but also about applications, who to talk to, who to reach to, um, how does the job application work, or how to build up your LinkedIn, for example, how to network, stuff like that. But then on the other side, you also get that really, really hands-on experience on the engineering field and the science field in general. Um, and I'm showing you with like pictures like this. So you get to work with people who have done like incredible things. So people who have built CubeSats, or people who were like actually there working on the space shuttle, or you get to go, for example, in my case, I got to go inside the wind tunnel and see this. There's this very recent project that's going on. It's called Dragonfly, which is another drone that's not going to the moon, but it's going to another planet. And I got to see people like actually putting screws on it. At that time, it was classified, so I couldn't say anything. But um, it's really, really nice. They give you an entire tour of NASA, and like I said, you get to meet amazing people who are very willing to help you. I think that's a key difference in this program, and it's the people who you get to interact with, they are very, very open to questions, and they do genuinely care about you. They genuinely want you asking them things because they do really want to see you succeed. And because all of the people there, a lot of the people who you will meet are actually just volunteering, or like they're just there because they want to. So take advantage of that, and like Lily said, it's it's a trip that you won't get with any other program. You you don't just randomly get to fly to a NASA center every day, and let alone talk to people who have a lot of experience, not just in science fields, but like career wise, personal life wise, and a lot of important stuff. And for example, like one advantage that I got off of NCAS is that it got me the job that I have right now. Um, so putting NCAS on your resume as well gives you like a massive boost. Not only when you're applying to different jobs, but even to NASA itself. One thing they tell you a lot is put it on your resume, put it in red, put it as the first thing on your resume, because immediately as they see that, they will recognize that you have potential, that you have what it takes to be working at a facility like NASA. They will know that you're putting in the effort, that you're trying to get involved with them, and immediately it puts you up the top of the list of hundreds of applicants. It's one thing that they really actually focus on a lot, and it helps a lot. So that was my experience with Mission 3. Lily, you can take it away with your experience.
Thanks. Just to piggyback off what you just said, one of the guest speakers that we had, I can't remember if it was Mission 2 or Mission 3, but she was a current intern at NASA, and she said she had applied and been rejected by like 8 or 9 different internships, and there was one at NASA that accepted her. So she asked her mentor, like, why did you accept me when all of these other people rejected me? And he said, because you had MCAS on your resume. Immediately saw that, and I was like, absolutely. So this program opens a lot of doors, especially if you make it through all 3 missions, because it shows like tenacity, leadership. It shows you have all of these skills that NASA is looking for, because it's not even just technical skills. They want people with people skills. So if you can make it through this, communicating with teams, you're meeting people that you've never met before. Like this picture, this was my Mission 3 team. We had not met before in real life, obviously. We had 2 weeks of sort of conversation before, like a little bit of research before we met in person. And when we met in person, it just like exploded. Like that's a fantastic group of people. This one is my favorite. This was his first time trying In-N-Out because he's from Pennsylvania, and it was transformative for him. So it's one of my favorite memories. But anyway, so for my Mission 3, I got to go to Armstrong Flight Test Center in Edwards. That's in the like Death Valley, California. It was disgustingly hot, like over 100 degrees every day. Oh, one of the buildings didn't have AC, and it's torture, but it's still fascinating. We also had the advanced air mobility, like, uh, I don't know, goal. But something I want to point out for mission two is they give a lot of structure. They have a whole what's the word? Like guidebook on all the rules and like guidelines and specific things you have to follow. For mission three, they don't do that. They kind of just say, "Oh, you figured it out for mission two. We're gonna throw you out there. You guys, this is it. Figure it out." We just created something from scratch. So for our team, we decided to focus on like public perception of drones and how negative it is and how to kind of combat that in a way. That was like noise canceling or noise reduction in oh my God, drone sound. So these rotors, I wasn't, but anyway, it was finding the specific rotors. There was one issue where the one we wanted, NASA had dumped. They said they didn't want it, so we were going to rebuild it in a different way, knowing that it made it to NASA in a way. But this is like a sketch that one of our team members drew, and then this is actually a CAD design that another team member made from this sketch. So our goal in general was to have like a consumer goods like delivery service in a way that combated negative public perception. But in general, we had planned sessions where we had experts who spoke to us about their jobs, but it was actually very little job shadowing. It was kind of sad. But we got to explore like the facility itself and all the cool airplanes like the SR-71. And we had flight simulators, which was really cool. But one of the big things they talked about was the X-59 or the Quest, which is if you know anything about supersonic air travel and how sonic booms are super loud. We actually got to hear some. It was really cool. We met the uh was he chief test pilot for the XR-59, and we met him, and then he said, "If you hear a sonic boom today, that's me." And then we heard one that day, and it was so cool. It was crazy. It was like a small explosion went off. The building shook. It was like a mini earthquake. Their goal for the XR-59 is to make it so instead of a giant explosion, it's more like how they said, like a car door slamming across the street. So we got to learn a lot about that. Sadly, they don't house it at Armstrong, so we didn't get to see it, but that was kind of the main focus. And in general, what Andrea said is so spot on. They're like a family. You're there. You're a NASA person now. They just want to be there. They want to help you. So they want to connect with you. They want to help you in any way. It didn't happen, but we were supposed to bring in our resumes to have them like reviewed. It was part of the program, but things changed as things do. It's also a government agency, so things change and things do. But it's they open themselves up. They give their contact info like immediately. You don't even have to know them for very long for them to be like, just send me an email. We can connect. All they want to do is help you. All they want to do is lift you up and take you on to bigger and better pastures. I mean, specifically, they want you to intern at NASA, but they're happy with you just being awesome because you're already awesome if you made it this far and just doing this program in general, but I'm biased. Um, so in general, this was a transformative experience for me. Um, but moving on, and we've talked about these a lot, but we wanted to kind of sum up our key takeaways and advice. So the big one, the best one, this applies to everything in life, but time management. Managing your time in with all the research and with the communication it's so important because I mean for mission two there were at least 2 days I did not sleep because I just worked all night because I didn't manage my time super well, though it's kind of hard for mission two. It's a little different, but still, like managing all the things. You have to go to all the meetings, making sure you make time for you, maybe remember to sleep, remember to eat, do things for you, but staying on top of the deadlines, making sure you're ooh, just managing your time. And the big thing I want to point out is be patient about NASA communications because they're not great about timeliness. So there's your time management, but also not freaking out if you don't hear anything right away because they take a while to yeah, send stuff. Andrea.
Yeah, that is very spot on. They one of the one of the things that like within the team, one of the conversations that would arise was like, why is it people like what's going on? Like we're supposed to get emails from NASA and we're not getting anything, and it was definitely stressful. But they will reach out to you eventually. So don't panic. And if you are panicking, just send them an email. It's not the
Mhm.
end of the world, but just expect and know that communication is something they need to work on.
As well.
Um, yeah. But in really one other takeaway of this is do your best. I mean, if you're already in this session, it means you're already doing your best. You're already interested, and that tells that says a lot actually. You're here, you're spending your own time, you're trying to participate, to get involved. That is already a massive step that a lot of people are not doing. So this is already you're already ahead of the game, really. So don't be scared. You're doing your best, and that's really the key here. But then in terms of the session, the mission itself is just remember that mission 1 and mission 2 determine your grade for mission 3. So always try to strive for the best. Try to get those 90 or above grades. And even if you get a grade back and you don't feel like you deserve it, speak up. Talk to the people. You will be assigned like an educational specialist. They are going to be your point of contact. Talk to them. They are all very, very nice. They're willing to help you out. They're willing if you put in the effort, they will show and they will notice. So don't be afraid to speak up. And not just for your grade, for any other thing as well. For example, in mission 2 and mission 3, you get to because it's a teamwork effort, you get assigned a role. And one thing I kind of want to touch upon is there's roles like more on the engineering side, but then there's also administrative roles, right? So there's project managers on your team, but then there's also lead engineers on your team. Don't if you want to roll, don't be afraid to say. Don't be afraid to tell like, "Hey, I think I would be a good fit for this. Can I be it?" But
Right.
even if you don't get the role that you want, don't get discouraged by the other ones. I think one thing that was very that they touch upon is like, oh, everyone kind of wants the engineering roles and all of that, and they kind of neglect the like project management, budget, finance side. Those roles are really important, if not more important than the other ones. So don't be afraid to take on a role that's different or that's something that you don't want or don't think like, oh, it's just not important because it's not. I guarantee you that it's not the case. All roles, regardless, are very important. But remember, just remember to speak up, really. And then really also one thing they kind of also really emphasize a lot is they love when students post their experience of an NCAS. They like for some reason love LinkedIn. I don't know why. Or Instagram. And so every time you meet with someone, they will at the end of the meeting they will tell you, remember to post us on LinkedIn or social media or something like that. So one that shows one that you're excited about the program, and two, people from the program will actually look up who has posted, and that's actually another criteria for mission 3. They want to see people engaged. They want to see people showing off your work because first of all, you deserve to show it off. You've worked hard to be where you are, and you deserve to let other people know. And second, they love it when you do that because it shows how great NCAS is, right? It really is a life-changing experience. It gives you momentum for other things, and it gives you experience that you don't get with many programs.
I will say, um, only a few people from Mission 2 from my team posted on social media, but they all made it to Mission 3, and I think that had something to do with it because they love social media. They like to see their students doing things, but also like being involved and like talking about the program. It's their favorite thing. Um, for the third takeaway, dig deep. Don't be afraid to dig your heels in and put all of your effort into this. Like in the research or in the communication, or maybe you're not normally one who speaks up, do it. Put everything. They talk about this program as they've called it a 6-month interview, where essentially they're testing all of your different skills, where you have the asynchronous class and then you have the 1 week short-term team building, and then you have a longer research project, and then the in-person where you're gonna it tests your mettle in terms of like your soft skills with people online, in person. It tests all the skills. It goes over all of them. So they're really looking at everything that you're doing, which is why I think that mentor told that intern that he saw NCAS and immediately knew that she had what it took to intern at NASA. So really do your best and put everything you got into this, because it's worth it. It really is worth it. Um, ugh, I press the button, it doesn't work. So some of the direct benefits, which we've talked a lot about, but again, summing up. So you've got, and Andre, feel free to jump in whenever, but you've got networking opportunities. That's with the subject matter experts. Every single session, they leave a lot of time at the end for questions. Speak up, unmute, ask your question, even if it's silly. There was one guy who worked directly on propulsion, and one person unmuted said, okay, is this the job that I need to blow stuff up? Because that's all I want to do. I want to blow stuff up. And I guarantee you that guy remembered her. So it's really important to take down their information. Or if you meet somebody, say you're on mission 3 and you talk to somebody who's really cool, get their information. It's amazing the opportunities you get for networking here. You have the hands-on experience with research, the soft skills, communication, everything that we talked about. It's along with the one underneath it, soft skills and communication. Those are the biggest things, at least personally, that I felt like I got out of this program. Um, the NASA affiliation, it is nice to have NASA on your resume, I'm not gonna lie. Again, the mentor told the intern, like, having NCAS, they told us we're part of the NASA family now. We're NASA people. Hey. If you make it past mission 2, you graduate mission 2, you get added to the alumni newsletter, which so far has mainly been NASA opportunities, which is super, super cool. And then obviously the paid trip to NASA for mission 3, which is the coolest. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. Andrea, do you want to add anything to this page?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to touch upon is also regarding the newsletter. It's by you participating in NCAS, you also get to apply to other internships
Mhm.
that look for NCAS students specifically. So you kind of get the opportunity to apply to certain internships that not anyone can apply to. And it's because since you do NCAS, that's the key to gain access to those types of internships. And you learn about those opportunities with that newsletter that Lily talked about. So it's also another a really nice benefit. It's like the NCAS does really put you on the top and really like boosts your resume by a
Yeah,
lot. It does really help.
I agree. Um, okay, we're gonna move to eligibility. Do you want to do this? Do you want me to do this?
Yeah, I can do it. So, so eligibility is for one, be 18 years old or older. Um, the second one is to be a U.S. citizen. The reason why is because, well, this is government. So that is one unfortunate requirement is that you have to be a U.S. citizen. We also have to graduate from high school. The requirements are kind of simple, but one thing they do emphasize a lot is that you've taken at least 9 credits of STEM classes. So it can be like math, chemistry, physics. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just yeah. You're welcome. it doesn't, you don't have to have taken like 20 or 30 credits of science. It's just 9, and it can be on any science class that you've taken. You obviously already fulfill the fact that you're enrolled in a community college, because this program is meant for community college students only, and if you're here, then that already means that you're just satisfied that the requirement already. Um, that you also have good internet access. 90% of the of the program is, oh, it's remote, so definitely the good internet access is important. And then one main component to the entire application is a small paragraph that they make you write. So it's 300 word max. And what they're really looking, this is the determinant, well, a big determinant in your acceptance. But what they're really trying to look for is people who want to learn, people who are willing to put in the effort, people who are excited, and people who have a reason. So the best advice I can give you is write your statement as if you were already part of NASA, right? Write it as if you're already a member in it, and be specific. If there's one thing that you really want, like, I don't know, be part of the as that's what I wrote in my essay, for example. I wrote it on the propulsion system for the SLS rocket, so Artemis. I wrote specifically about that. And I showed in my essay how I saw myself as a member, as an employee at NASA already. They do really want that. They want to see your future, and what your plans are, and they want to see your passion, right? And the reason why you want to be part of the community, because it is really an amazing community. Like Louis touched upon, everyone's willing to help you. Um, so really be original, be yourself, and think of yourself as in a NASA employee. Think of yourself like, I'm already there. So try to write your statement like that. Um, and then other than that, well, that's the best I can give you, the best advice I can give you, um, for writing your essay. And then also just remember to like just do well on mission 1 and mission 2, because those grades um affect your like participation for mission 3. So really the key things to focus on is show participation, so show engagement. Write your essay as if you were already a member from NASA. And then, sorry. Oh, okay. I've talked a lot. And then, and then, yeah, just communicate, and don't ever feel like you're like somewhere you shouldn't be, because you are. You deserve to be part of the program. And like we've talked about a lot, it is truly an opportunity that not a lot of people are aware of, but the boost it gives you is incredible. So I mean, I encourage you all to apply, really. And if you have any questions, obviously you can contact Liddy or me. Um, but yeah, it is really an opportunity that it's sad that not a lot of people know of, but it's also it's also really exciting seeing when other students join, because we know how much it helped us. We know we learned a lot. So yeah, we wish you the best of luck to everyone. And yeah.
I will just add to that that don't stress about the 300 words. Mine was like 115 words. And you can go the route of like being specific about the like SLS rocket like Andrea did, but for me it was more about the struggles that I faced as like a woman in STEM and everything that I want to do to move forward in engineering. So it's more of a more personal than technical. So you can go either route and they will be happy. I think it's all about what Andrea said, like showing your passion and things that you care about. So just quickly on important deadlines. So the deadline to apply is Wednesday, November 25th. There's an info session tomorrow, like an official NCAS one where the people who run the program will be talking and not us, even though we're awesome. Tomorrow at 1:30, Pacific. Oh, big thing. Everything's in Central, just so you know. There's also another one next Thursday at 2 p.m. And then every Wednesday until the deadline, they have an office hour where you can go in and ask questions. So there's lots of opportunity for you to talk to like the actual program people about anything that maybe we don't have answers to. So speaking of answers, thank you for coming. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, Toby had a question in the chat, and said, as a data science major, do you think it's worth putting the time into this program? How would you say this program relates to data science, if anything? Have you heard of any data science opportunities in NASA? My guess would be yes, but I don't know if you
Absolutely.
all.
Yes. I think data science is one of the big ticket items at NASA. So I think the best part about what Andrea touched on a little bit is like there are many different roles within the team dynamics, so you don't have to just go into engineering, but you can put your own flair or whatever passion that you have, anything you're focused on into your research and how you approach things. But the best part about that is like they don't just bring in engineers to talk for the experts. It's a myriad of different disciplines and backgrounds. So you will definitely have access to all the NASA people. So you can ask them questions. It's specific to data science. And if they don't have the answers, they would be happy to connect you with somebody that do have those answers. So it's really the networking. So I say you could be any major and you will definitely find your people at NASA because that's the best part about NASA. It's not just engineers, it's literally everything.
Lily, maybe on that topic, because I feel like you kind of touched on this when I talked with you, is that you don't need to have any experience coming in either,
Oh,
right? Like if you have limited technical exposure, it's okay. It's more your curiosity and your desire to learn and also your connection. Like maybe you've had a lifelong dream to be part of NASA. Like that's almost enough. It doesn't mean you've had taken 5 physics classes and all the math and all that stuff too.
yeah, no, you don't need any experience or knowledge to walk into this. That's the best part is that they do, even though like mission two is so short term, they give you time to do research on things that you don't know. Because I have no technical experience, and I loved every second, even the challenging parts because I didn't know anything. The like my team members were talking about specific payload things and like thrusters and things. I don't know anything about that. You know, my major would suggest otherwise. But I had the opportunity to research these things and even like ask questions, even though I hated it. But it was really fun. And the one thing that they emphasized at NASA is that NASA's not just for engineers, it's for everyone. A mission to the moon is not built solely on scientists and engineers. It's built on many different people's backs. Anything and all. One of the big things like social media was like a marketing person. So you can have any type of experience or none at all, and they welcome you with open arms. It's the best part about NASA, I think.
And just to piggyback on that, Toby, just data science is a huge demand field right now in any STEM area. So I feel like you shouldn't hesitate to apply for all those STEM opportunities. This one not being the only one because data science, I mean, there's big data everywhere in every field. So data science is always going to be necessary.
100,000,000%.
Do people have other questions about the application process or about what you need to make it?
One thing I wanted to add to all the amazing answers you both gave to Toby is an actual example. On mission 3, my team, one of the things we had to focus on was to we had to test. We had to do a trial phase and pick where we wanted to launch our first set of drones, right? So we actually had to use a little bit of data science to survey kind of different cities that we could potentially pick to to release our first demo of drones. So that was really cool. We were able to kind of like look at airspace in different cities, the how many like network towers they had, um, and all other sorts of things. So that is actually one application on on data science that my team used for it. Yeah.
Any other questions? If there are no questions, maybe Lily and Andrea, you can each just share like what have been your next steps since that internship. I know, well, just so people are clear, it's not an internship, it's not paid, right? But it is definitely a really important stepping stone. I like how you put Lily, it's almost like a 6-month interview for getting a NASA internship. But yeah, like what are y'all's next steps from that program?
To be clear, they do give a small stipend for mission 3. I think it was like
Oh,
$400 or something at the end of it. So there's a little bit.
that's
Plus,
cool.
they pay for flights and stuff. Um, I can- so for me, it's definitely diving deeper into looking at like specifically NASA internships. But uh more specifically is I'm interested in biofuel research, and the mentor that I had in mission 3 did a little bit of work with biofuel emissions at NASA, and she's actually connected me with a couple of uh subject matter experts from Andrea's session, the one before mine, who worked specifically testing biofuels made from chicken fat and the emissions from that in a modified Boeing 747. So, in terms of like specific next steps, that's where I'm rocketing towards because I'm excited to talk to them. But that's an example also of networking opportunities. So, yeah.
Ooh, what
Yeah,
about you,
for me,
Andrea?
oh, sorry, Sophia.
There you go.
For me, my next step was actually being part of an NCAS landed me my first internship, which has now become my job. So I'm actually at job at my work right now. I don't know if you could. My badge is there. Uh, but I didn't have a lot on my resume. I will say that. It was it wasn't a lot. I didn't have any programming experience. Yeah, I didn't have any programming experience, technical skills. I didn't have a lot, and I learned NCAS. I did NCAS. I put it on my resume, and I started applying for internships. And I ended up getting one at Slack this summer. And I genuinely think that if it weren't for NCAS, I would have never landed this internship. That's how much impact it has. Um, so that's my stuff. That's where I've gone to. It's really funny because when I was in mission 2, I had since it's so extreme, I had a quiz one day, and I told my professor like, no, I can't do it, and he was like, no, I don't care, you still have to do it. But when he told me no, he also told me something that was like, sometimes you have to sacrifice for better things. So I ended up actually skipping that quiz, and because I skipped it, I was able to attend an important meeting that I had, and that meeting led to a bunch of other events that, well, took me to where I am right now. So it was kind of funny. I was mad at my professor. I was like, dude, come on, let me do the quiz another day. But he also taught me the the great advice that sometimes missing out on some things lead you to better futures. So yeah.
I love that. That's a great way to end. I put both of your all's LinkedIn in the chat, so I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
But I know you're both decently active on there, so if y'all have questions and want to reach out to them, you can do it that way. But we'll be sending out the slides and the recording, so if you wanted to watch anything again, definitely encourage all of you to apply. But thank you both so much. This was super informative and inspiring, so I hope we get lots of people to apply this year.
Yes, yes. Good luck with applications. If you guys have questions, you can always reach out to either of us. We're happy to tell you more about our experiences.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Hi everyone, and good luck.
Bye, good luck.
Yeah.